Well, hello everyone. This is French. Today I'm going to give you an idea, and this is also, let's just say, an impromptu training. It's about 94 degrees here in Boston. It's too hot to be inside. It is obviously too hot to even be outside, depending on where. And it's still nice. So, to not waste any time, no part of this video is considered financial advice. I've had the privilege of being part of this company, Miracle Cash and More, for the past 2 years. We are planning to go back to Vegas, where it all started for me. 1 week in Vegas, 2 days before the end of our first meeting, my first encounter in person. I was offered the opportunity to visit the headquarters in Cyprus, and I made the decision 2 days before the Vegas event, and I'm so glad to have done so. Crazy expensive, but so glad to be in the position to do so. After I came back from Cyprus, my body came back, but my mind stayed there. I've been thinking and imagining, manifesting the idea of owning properties in Cyprus. If this project delivered what it says it would, however long it takes, how many times the opportunity has been morphed, how many acquisitions, how many partnerships created, how many changes, technological changes we have to go through. Not everyone, I think I've repeated that multiple times, not everyone is psychologically prepared to be part of something too early. Sometimes it's actually good, if you've been consuming my content, to participate when you're psychologically prepared to engage. The earliest phase of an opportunity provides the best financial advantage, the best opportunity to leverage your capital. But that also comes with things might take a little longer than you think. And if you're psychologically prepared to go through difficult changes, acquisitions, mergers, and technological changes, regulatory changes, and take advantage of opportunities that we were not expecting but just falling our lap, which also add to certain delays. The opportunity cost is favorable to the early adapters, similarly to the phases a pregnant woman had to go through before giving birth. Once birth is given to a little bundle of joy, usually the parent tends to forget the sleepless nights, the pain, the diet adjustments, the mood swings, the personality changes, and it's celebration. And then all the fun starts one more time. The growth, the first steps, the first smile, every picture taken. And basically that's what's about to happen. You would say, in a trimester or whatever you want to call it, in the final stages where things are coming into fruition. And for those of us who participated early, who've been patient, who understood or learn to appreciate the value of patience, the value of knowing about the project early. I was just reminiscing, having heard about Bitcoin when it was 10 cents, following the price of Bitcoin when it was 50 cents, analyzing the growth of Bitcoin at $1 to 5. For someone who practically lived online in the 90s, it was just at the time where my eyesight from having too much exposure to a screen was starting to, you know, it loses its effectiveness, and so I was actually reducing my reliance on technology, you could say, and I missed out because I too was one of those people, heard about it, analyzing it, following the price, seeing the growth, but do not participate. For whatever reasons, I like to go back and say, if I could go back and slap my older self, so that way my now self could practically own the town where I am, because I was doing multiple gigs, driving Lyft, driving Uber, doing all kind of crazy stuff, painting people's houses, you know, mounting and assembling furniture, you name it. Anyways, so it's not so much whether or not you experience some degrees of regret for not participating early. What degree of regret would be acceptable for you to live by? Now, the gentleman who actually exchanged 10,000 Bitcoin for a couple of pizzas may look back and say, well, I didn't know, so I'm okay with that. But that doesn't change the fact that it did happen. And history record, in fact, that set up a pivotal moment for Bitcoin, because it gave Bitcoin the first validated marketplace transaction where there is then a demand, because someone was willing to exchange what they consider the pizza as a greater value, because the unintended consequences, not knowing where Bitcoin would go, because mass adoption didn't happen yet. The unintended consequences, the unknown, was the pizza at the time was a greater value. Anyways, there was another reference I could mention, if you're into the Bible, where one person basically exchanged a birthright for a meal. So, anyways, so if you've been exposed to this opportunity, you can get access to marketing Miracle Cash's product. We now have Phoenic, our proof of transaction token, listed on CoinMarketCap. You can look at it as PNIC on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, that is currently listed and currently traded on Mexi and multiple exchanges to come. And with a free cash flow account and with exposure to 17% affiliate commission for the privilege of sharing the opportunity with others. Although this is not a multi-level program, but there is a 3-tier affiliate system available. Once achieved the level 3 expansion, you can further upgrade to a global leadership pool if you are a leader. Okay, so let's take a look at this example. May not necessarily be clear for you, but the imagery would help to clarify the point. So I'm here, I'm not that significant, and I share this with you. and you are you have the ability to leverage your social capital, and there are like four, four brackets. I like to say that everybody falls under four brackets. This is a lot easier for me to explain because the four brackets, everyone is part of a family. In your family bracket, you have brother, sister, uncle, cousin, nephew, niece, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, and the like. So, of your social capital bracket, within giving your family as your first bracket, and then let's say F for family, and let's say B for business. Everyone is part of a business. You work for someone or you own a business. Let's say B, and then you have your boss, subordinate, co-worker, uh, customers, vendors, and competitors, because everybody has those, or in business rather. If you own a business, then is your senior manager, junior manager, employee, vendor, and, and suppliers and the like. So if you own a business, say for instance, or you're part of a sales network, you could use your business network to create a secondary source of cash flow coming in, especially if the nature of your business is seasonal, for instance. An example of a typical network, if you are in sales, real estate, the market is kind of like sour right now. It's a seller's market, not a buyer's market. So as a result, a lot of agents are basically leaving the company, leaving the industry to retool with the introduction of AI, changing the workforce. There are all going to be a lot of people who are misplaced due to AI. You either suffer the consequences of AI changing the workforce, or you are positioning yourself to basically get acquainted with AI, certification in AI assisted work environment, where instead of suffering job loss, you are benefiting from job growth because you realign yourself according to where the market is going. Technology is changing everything. So you could either be a victim of technological change or a beneficiary if you align yourself. So for the sake of space, I'm going to use just the two social brackets because everybody is part of a family. You get brother, sister, uncle, niece, nephew, cousin, and these are this is the group, your social bracket, where people knows you, you're comfortable, and also provide an opportunity for you to test your ability to communicate by sharing the opportunity with as many people as possible. And if you find something of value that is vetted, so the people you would like to position to take advantage of this opportunity while you're learning would be, of course, family members. So you take your brother, sister, uncle, niece, nephew, cousin, brother-in-law, neighbor, you share that. So this is you, why, and anyone that you share this with. So anyone that you participate and educate with my coaching, that generate a first tier 10%. Then if your uncle share with his brother, sister, cousin, nephew, niece, okay, partner, that creates a second layer which gives you a 4% commission. And if your uncle, your uncle's nephew share with his co-worker, schoolmates, cousins, but friends, people in your social network. So now you create a 3 degrees of separation where you have a 3% commission coming in. So we have, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to um, make it so you can differentiate, since it would not necessarily be clear for you. So let's imagine um, you share with your uncle share with his brother or cousin, nephew, niece, who then share with their brother, cousin, uncle, niece, and then the relationship goes from you to your first generation, where you get 10% commission, your second generation, which is your 4% commission, and your third generation, which is your 3% commission. So you got 1, 2, and 3, and then anything that happens on the fourth level are not commissionable, but contributed to your global leadership. Okay, so if then you share with your family network, and you also decided, I'm going to also and try to influence my the people at work, the people in your business network, the people that you go to that you share an office space with or business network with. And say for instance you have a good relationship with the boss. Hey boss, I'm working on this side gig, and it's actually is very I'm learning a lot. I'm learning about blockchain technology, how the market is going to change, while you're feeling your boss at the same time to see if they are risk averse, or if they keep their options open for additional opportunity. Now, given the inflation these days, everybody's looking for a different source of income, different way to supplement their earning to keep up with inflation. So you can, in a sense, manage your uh, affairs to minimize the effect of inflation by decrease your lifestyle. And I just read that Warren Buffett bought a house in 1956 for 31,500. Now he's worth about 111 or 12 billion, and he still lives in a house that he paid 31,500 for, and then use his money to make more money, as opposed to, because the house he lives in is not an asset, it's a liability, because the house cost him money. It's not a revenue producing asset. It's an asset that cost him money, but not, but it's an asset because he owns it, but it's also, if he was paying a mortgage on it, that would be considered a liability because it's not an income producing asset. Needless to say, an asset. Okay, $31,500 for, if I'm accurate, and it's worth about 112 or 111 billion. Top 10 richest men in the world. So amazing, great. I mean, I wonder who taught uh, Buffett financial literacy, how taught him to be such a good steward of his money, of his time, talent, energy, to be able to have that discipline. So today, he is the envy of all investors. Everyone wants to be like Buffett, quote Buffett, or Buffettism. Okay, so you share with your business network, whether you own a business or part of a business, and then you get the senior management, junior management, employee, supplier, broker, and competitor, for instance. Like you are having a hard time. Now, a lot of companies are cutting the sales force. A lot of companies, especially in technology, due to the introduction of AIs and robotics, are basically trimming the workforce, because it's easier to have a large language model do things. It's easier. Nowadays, someone can pay $100,000 for a robot that can do X amount of work, that never takes a break, never goes on vacation, and never have to deal with sickness, and therefore don't have to pay the insurance. You just have to keep for upkeep and maintenance of and software upgrades. Anyways, having say so, so you share with ideas. Say if you own a business and you need additional capital, so you can acquire a venture, you can merge it, or you can add a recession-proof income producing cash flow on top of your business by preparing to adapt new technology in your existing business with a couple of hours here to learn about the blockchain lingo, how to navigate the space, how to vet projects properly so you don't get into scams, so while keeping the cash flow coming in for your business, and you reallocate a percentage of your cash flow into an income producing cash flow that operates 24/7. You can acquire the node, you can acquire share bundles, you can acquire node share bundles, you can acquire properties in Cyprus. Anyway, so I was just saying that my first event, my body came back to US, but my mind stays in Cyprus. And now with Phoenic, we can acquire property leveraging Phoenic token that is going to be tradable in multiple exchanges, is having a beautiful couple of months with organic marketing. Miracle Estate provides the first use case where a transaction utility token is going to be used to align with successful development of real estate to meet the demand in Cyprus, and demand has increased since Forbes magazine lists Cyprus as the top 5 destination for retirees, for vacation, for home ownership, and where you have a certain demographic of people due to political instability has migrated to Cyprus. And within just a few short years, Cyprus has gone from 400,000 to 1 million and increasing. Plenty of schools, plenty of casinos, and cost of living is relatively less expensive as other places. Beautiful scenery, beautiful environment, beautiful underdeveloped little island. And imagine yourself owning a piece of property, whether you choose to use it as an investment property, or you choose to use it as a vacation home, or you choose to have it property managed from a distance, where you earn the potential growth of your investment. Participate early in a pre-construction of real estate development project. One person can acquire a unit, multiple family members can acquire multiple units, and not only that, you benefit from the leverage of Phoenic, because you would lock in the property at today's price of Phoenic, but you would also leverage the growth of Phoenic. Of any price increase of Phoenic would also be beneficial, not by any way financial advice. Anyways, so as you share the opportunity in your social network through family, so you can get in a habit of sharing anything that any first generation to you earns you 10%, second generation to you earns you 4%, and third generation to you earns you 3%, depending on what we're marketing. Different products have different price points and therefore different commission structure. So since this is a opportunity review, a conversation, you can imagine that you're looking at this for a while, and you're saying to yourself, well, French, I've been looking at your update for quite some times now. I'm intrigued. I now want to position myself. So what do I do? First, understand the position that you are in. You are in a position of tremendous influence because you get to know about this early. And if you have not, you can create a free account. I'm going to write free account. You create a free account with Cashflow NFT, and you positioning yourself as the person exposing the opportunity to as many people as possible, so that you and your social network can evaluate this together, because you may find that someone in your social network might be able to see it before you. People have different IQ. Some people are, depending on your personality, some people are very analytical. They spend time to analyze everything and do nothing. And some people see, oh man, I can live in Cyprus. I can have a lot of fun. I can be at the beachfront property every time. I can have parties and go to musicals and theater and museums, and I can enrich myself in the rich culture of Cyprus. They'll buy it just for the fun of that. Some people can see, hey, I can make a lot of money, buy in the property early and see the growth of my capital, especially if you're in a certain age and you're looking to leverage your capital for the maximum market value possible. Or, wow, I could make a lot of difference in a lot of people's life if I put X amount of money in this project, and then Phoenic being the transaction token, the node being the ability to basically acquire digital rewards to the nodes coming in Phoenic, and Phoenic is publicly traded, meaning the nodes deliver a certain amount of Phoenic daily, and your nodes, your blockchain node, which would be on chain, validate every transaction that happens in our ecosystem. Transaction can happen through a electronic vending machine or ADM. Transaction could happen from a POS system, physical or virtual, depending of course if the business uses Miracle Cash's technology through Miracle Pay. There could be multiple business partnership where Miracle Installment, Miracle Home, Miracle Installment for Business is used in any range of product that Miracle has to offer. Someone can acquire a property. The transaction happens in Phoenic, and Phoenic also is a gas that uses to pay for the transaction. In our node system, whoever owns a node in our network validates the transaction, and you can have, as long as we have supplies left of 20,000 nodes available, you can have as many nodes as possible, as long as you can afford it. You can have as many nodes as possible. There are two types of node. There is a blockchain node, a full node, and then there is a mini node. A mini node is 1/10 of a node, and each node delivers a certain amount of doing beta points, which would then translate into Phoenic. And Phoenic, once the node is out of beta, and we are delivering, we are in the process of coming together with a couple of future products. One that is complete but not yet released, lever, the ability to trade with leverage, whether you provide the liquidity or being the one use the liquidity to trade, or be the one who provides the liquidity, where you earn the upside by providing the liquidity, or the one using leverage to take advantage of increased capital of trading. And then we're gonna have Miracle Swap, the ability to swap the different crypto assets using the Miracle technology. And when those products happen, some products or services are up and coming services. They are not yet available for service. And then we have physical stores in multiple regions and around the world, where you can actually interact with Miracle. You can interact with Miracle face to face through one of those partner stores in multiple regions. You can interact with Miracle through an AVM or electronic vending machine provided in multiple locations. You can interact with Miracle through a POS system that a business use or Miracle Pay online. And you can interact with Miracle 24/7 through the exchange. Or you can be a proud owner of a property with Miracle Home. So, as many ways that you can actually leverage, get access, get exposure to Miracle, you can do so in so many different ways. And we differ from a lot more exchanges because not only do we have our own stable coin, we have our own utility token, the reward system through the node, and the ability for businesses with an online presence or in regions where it's appropriate or acceptable to leverage the POS system for crypto remittance. So, with a free account, you can share with your family bracket, F, business bracket, B, faith-based organization for F again, or a non-profit for N. Many of us give to a non-profit or volunteer for a non-profit. How would you like to share this project with a non-profit to leverage the power of the node system, leverage the share opportunities, the country shares while they are available, or through an existing business tap into the 3-tier marketing system to leverage the commission structure that gives you access to basically creating a business on top of another business. The family network is probably the easiest to start because the people you love, the people you care about are the first one that you would like to have benefited from this educational process. So you take your family network, leverage the social capital, the relationship, so you can have maximum gravity or experience leveraging an ecosystem where the entire family benefit. And then you have the family members, you have first generation, all the dots represent the number of people in your first generation, and then you get the second generation, all the dots represent the number of people in the second generation, and then you have the third generation, all the dots represent the number of people in this generation. Anything happens here gives you 10%, first generation 10%, 4% on the second generation, okay, and then 3% on the third generation. So imagine you have your family network and the dots represent the number of people in that circle, and anything happens in the first circle earns you an immediate 10% commission leveraging your family network. And there are also family benefits because family is also interconnected. It's like a little island separated by the water that connects to other island, and you have the family line, the blood. The water represents the connection link between sub-cell. You have, you could say this little nucleus of family group is connected through the affiliate system that generates a second generation of income, which gives you a total of 17% commission, 17% commission that could be leveraged through your family social network, where anyone, brother, sister, uncle, niece, cousins, brother, sister-in-law on the first generation, and each one also have their own sub-cell, sub-network, where that create a second generation where 4% is unlocked. And then since on the second generation they too have brother, sister, uncle, nephew, niece, husband, wife, partners, neighbors, co-workers, non-profit businesses, and then each one of them have their own sub-cell. And so you have your first network 1, 10%, network 2, 4%, and network 3, 3% with a free account. Okay, and then if you happen to have extra funds available sitting in the bank earning you nothing, you can say, I'm going to use X amount of money and leverage it in this network where you tap into 17% immediate return on your dormant capital leveraged by the bank. So you can put it into a cash flow generating business that is not bound by time. That is not bound by time. A recession-proof, technologically advancing business. The future is in blockchain technology and beyond. And you get to leverage dormant capital with a free account. By the way, everyone can share with a free account, and they get to either leverage their fiat to participate in positioning themselves in the cash flow generating system, and then you create the first generation, second generation, and third generation. So you start with the family, business, faith-based organization. Each of us are probably affiliated or have been affiliated or have affiliated with a faith-based organization. What do faith-based organizations? As a living organism, they need money to function. Usually some of them have some kind of a food bank or non-profit that needs money, or mission that needs money, and all those things are a capital intensive, capital vacuum that needs constant cash flow. And if you rely on income that you're making from exchanging time for money, well, first of all, you're not keeping up with inflation to begin with, and chances are, as inflation increases and your income not increases, and if on top of that you're not keeping up with technological change, blockchain, AI, robotics, well, it's only a matter of how soon would your job be affected or displaced or realigned, because you choose to adapt to technology. Anyway, so with a free account, you can tap into your social family network, business, faith, or non-profit for any. Every non-profit has a need to raise money. Imagine you can say, instead of giving to a non-profit, I'm going to purchase and donate a node on behalf of a non-profit. So the node, the blockchain node, collecting digital rewards daily, non-stop, never stopped, because blockchain doesn't sleep, daily, in a proof of transaction token. The only thing that would stop transaction happen if all of a sudden everything stops. As long as there are people transacting and performing an act of commerce, and technology is presenting a future adaptation of blockchain technology through tokenization, NFT, and the like, then there's always going to be the marketplace. There's buying and selling, the exchange of value from one value to the next. Blockchain technology through tokenization, fractional ownership of properties, okay, and the realignment of work. Then there was always going to be the evolution of an ever connected world through blockchain to allow family to continue to connect and really incentivize to help each other, because now there is an incentive for the family to be united, because they have an economic benefit to create a sub network. So you have, for instance, brother, uncle, niece who may not be talking to each other because of some past baggage from their past. Chances are you have mother, father, brother, uncle, niece, nephew who are not connecting, and chances are their cousins, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, nephew could be even living in the same town. They're not connected. So because they don't have a socially connected, financially incentivized to connect, so you have fragmented family, which is why it's important that the family is connected and having financial incentive for connecting. As a result, we can see the opportunity where people can benefit from reconnecting with family members because now they are incentivized to do so. So anyways, I have just a few more minutes to share with you because time is running out. So after you take care of the immediate family, business, network, faith, organization, then the next thing, if you're a leader, is to create a network where you leverage the capital, the social capital of the collective to achieve the global GBP, the global bonus pool. You can go as far wide as possible, but once you reach 50,000 in volume, front line, you've reached the first position in our global bonus pool. 50,000, and then help 3 people do the same. You now will reach, so you get 50, 50, 50, and you qualify one time for 50,000 in volume. So you now reach the second position in our global bonus pool. And basically replicate this diagram 3 times. So I'm going to take the combined group volume. You get 50, 50, 50, 50. That's 200,000. So you graduate to the 1 to 3rd level in our global bonus pool by create 3 group of 200K in volume, 200K, 200K in volume. So basically it's like walking up on the ladder of success. First, sell 50,000 to anyone front line. Once you reach 50,000 in volume, then you help 3 people, you identify 3 people who can also do the same. And then whether it's the same group or a new group, then you basically create this diagram 3 times. Take this diagram and replicate it as many times as possible. And every time you have the person, let's say for instance, you qualify by selling 50,000, identify 3 people who sell 50,000 each, then you identify 3 people who can graduate to the team volume of 200,000. For the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to leave it there because you just at this point master the art of developing the first step, the first stage, the first group of people. Say for instance, this is you. You sell to as many people as possible, and you've reached 50,000 in combined value. And then, what's the first and most important goal? Find out who can also do the same thing. With my help and coaching, and with you as a willing and coachable student, we're going to help 3 people qualify by selling 50K, and then 50K. So I'm going to make it this way to make it easier for you. So you sell 50,000 in value frontline. Not only you get 10% commission on everyone who purchase directly frontline to you up to 50,000, and then identify anyone who has the ability, the social skills, the motivation, a big enough dream to also sell 50,000. And therefore the first step is to graduate to level 1, 50,000, and then find 3 people who can also sell 50,000. And then for the sake of simplicity, we just leave it at that. So in your social network, whether you use the family, business, faith, or non-profit social bracket, you can be the rainmaker, providing a lifeline with an opportunity where people can leverage existing capital into a legal, verified, proven business that is on the right step with technology, blockchain technology, and you are part of making a difference. 17% can be unlocked through existing funds, or with a free account you can align yourself with as many like-minded people as possible to basically help as many people as possible earn or align their dreams, ambitions, and goals, so you can now be a sort of like sharing the usual social media trash people, look for seeking attention. You now find something constructive, something life-changing to share with other people, and then you get to be the one to say, I have brought value to your life, with a phone call, an email, a private DM, however you connect with somebody, or reconnect with the friends that you have not seen for quite some time, and position them forward with a life-changing opportunity. And then when we get together in our next event, instead of talking about the aches and pains and the disappointments and the loss of funds, lack of health, we can share the next vacation spot. We can share the next property appreciation news. We can share our investment return strategy, and we can share how we get to participate in changing lives and us benefiting from seeing people evolving out of poverty. And all that it takes is a willingness to take a first look at something, and then position your family, your business network, your faith-based network, the non-profit that you most likely have giving, are giving, and will be giving more to. And align yourself with people with dreams, visions, and ambition, and who are positive and who are moving forward in life. You are, in a sense, who you spend time with, and today can be a huge decision maker for you to discern who you spend time with, who is managing or shifting your attention away from either positivity or negativity. Anyway, so I look forward to hear from you directly. I look forward to connect with you in person, and I look forward to coach you into the most amazing journey, and also change your family tree at the same time.